Remembering that united we bargain, divided we beg. Rick Smith.
We need to stand united, for undivided we shall never fall. Remember all, we need to trust in and then forever call on our brothers and our sisters. And are you and I will win. You and I both know that we can rely on it. The time is prime, planets aligning, no mistaking. For union resurrection, the anger has awakened. The sleeping giant, come on, yeah, we can do it. We need to revive, re-amp, and re-up the labor movement.
Oh, boy, if that isn't the truth. We need to get people organized. We need to get people standing together and saying, you know what? Enough is enough. There's only so much of, you know what, we're willing to eat, and we are full. And you look across this country, and as I've been talking about, look, wages have not only been stagnant for the last 30 years, they've been going backwards. And employers have taken every loophole, every avenue, every crack in our labor laws and exploited them. And this latest thing that I've been focusing on, this misclassification of workers, hey, you're an independent, you're your own boss, you're an independent contractor, yet I'm going to tell you where to go, what to do, how much you're going to make, when you're going to make it, and you're going to wear what I tell you to wear and follow my rules. But hey, you're your own boss. You got to love that. You got to love the gall that goes in this. And there are people who have said, enough already, which is why we've been focusing a lot of attention on what's going on down in Savannah, Georgia, as the port truck drivers are saying, you know what? We demand respect. We demand a decent a shot at making a middle-class wage, and we demand respect. And to me, that's the big one, which is why we've asked Yasser Castillo. He's one of the workers down in the ports of Savannah. He's not one of the misclassified workers, but he's standing in solidarity with them. Yasser, thanks for taking time for us.
Yeah, this is Yasser.
Tell me, how did you get involved in this? I mean, from the outside, you're not a misclassified worker. You're not your quote-unquote own boss. How does this affect you?
Oh, well, for years and years, I was supposed to be a owner operator too, a truck driver, owner operator. Now I'm a company driver. And it's affecting us the same way, Every time they tell us what to do, they say you're your own boss, but you can do this, you can do that. So it's just
the one part of being the boss that you get is you get all of the responsibility, especially when you can't shoulder it, all of the fuel costs, all of the repair costs, all of that stuff that goes into it, as we've been talking about. Now tell me, I understand Monday you had a big event. It was Workers' Memorial Day. I know you had some folks come out and for an event. Tell me about it.
Yeah, we went out on strike because two of our workers, which they were misclassified as independent contractors. They got fired. Our boss fired them because they stand up. They said enough is enough, and we are drivers as well as you are, and they got fired. So that's why we went out there and we had to strike.
And what does that mean to you? I mean, the reality is, I can't imagine. Now, you're a company driver, so I would have to assume that you're at their whim, and that this can't be good for you because I understand Georgia, like Pennsylvania, an at-will state, they can fire you for any reason, as I understand, right?
Well, we're here in California, so we have the right, we have rights that we could go out there and say what we have to say. I mean, stand up for ourselves,
So tell me about your personal background, because, I've talked to a number of port drivers over the last year, 2 years, actually, especially the guys at the Toll Brothers Group and those who said, they never imagined, they never thought they would be part of a union. In fact, a lot of them were very anti the idea of joining a union because, hey, I'm going to get mine and hooray for me. I'm curious your story. Do you have any union background, anything like that?
You know what? I have never been in a union. When I came into this company, I was an anti-union. I didn't want any union because everything they talk about, it was the wrong thing. They were saying the union is after your money. Union is not going to help you for anything. But then I started, talking to people that had union, and I started going into the internet and finding out that having a union is not bad. It's a good thing. So that's why I became a union supporter. I'm not a union active yet. I'm just a supporter because we're trying to get the union into our company.
Yasser, you're an activist right now. The
Yes,
reality
I
is
am.
that you're willing to step forward. You've already got the badge of courage, in my view. This idea that you're willing to step forward and say, you know what, this is important. This is how we build the middle class. This is how we make our lives better. And good on you for it.
Yes, I had to do it because, I mean, there's a lot of people that they're afraid because our boss is telling them, if you join the union, you're going to get fired. All these people that is outside, they're all fired. They're not gonna go back as soon as everything finished. All these people are gonna get fired. You're not gonna get a job anywhere else because you're an activist. And I mean, it's all lie, and everybody's afraid. You know, in our company, everybody's afraid that they're gonna get fired and they're not gonna find any job anywhere else because they joined the union. So that's why we're having issues with a lot of people that they're afraid. That's why I had to stand, you know, for myself, for my family, for our workers that you know, that they were disqualified and they got fired. I mean, for anything, just because they decided to join the union.
And that, as everyone knows, is illegal, and it takes people to back you up. But the reality is there is power in numbers, and what the corporate class is scared to death of is that you and me and other working people are going to come together and say, you know what, we've been exploited, we've been used and abused and discarded. It's time that we demand the wealth that we create.
Yeah, exactly. That's why we went out and you know, stand for ourselves, and we had this strike yesterday for 48 hours, and we went back to work today, and no retaliations, but you know, but everybody, like I say, you know, everybody's afraid of they see what we do, and we don't get fired, but inside, you know, inside the our company, they're telling them that as soon as this is finished, as soon as this is over, everybody's going to get fired, and that's the big issue right now. Everybody's misqualified. They have a lot of supposedly owner-operators, and they have us as the drivers. And we do the same thing. We do the same thing.
So for you, so for you, the reality is that this whole scheme that they've developed, this fracture of our labor law, allowing for the misclassification of employees to be considered independent contractors. If you could end that, it would actually not only help you, but it would help them as well by making sure that everyone is considered an employee, because you're both doing the exact same job.
Exactly. Like I said, you know, we haul from the ports to the customers, and we do the same thing. So I don't see where is the difference between an owner operator or a company driver. Because
I can tell you where, Yasser. I can tell you where the difference is. The owner operator, for the misclassified independent, quote unquote, independent contractor, the company doesn't have to pay unemployment. They don't have to pay workers' comp. They don't have to pay taxes. They don't have to pay anything other than the few dollars that they give them to make the run. For an employee,
exactly.
You've got to actually make sure that those employees meet state and federal labor laws.
Yes, exactly. That's the whole point. Yeah, that's the point.
And it's a race to the bottom. I mean, if you allow these people to be exploited, which is why I'm happy to see that there are people like you who get it. If you allow them to be exploited, how long is it going to be until you get exploited?
Exactly. I mean, it's not, if we don't stand up for ourselves. I mean, sooner or later they're gonna do the same. What they're doing to them, they're gonna do it to us. I mean, they're gonna want us to pay for fuel, which is so expensive right now, especially here in California.
Yeah.
I mean, we're working for fuel. That's what we're doing. I don't know.
And how do you support your family when you're supporting ExxonMobil?
Oh wow, it's tough. It's tough, but I got to do it, you know. But it's real tough because $600 a week is not enough. It's not enough to support pay a house, pay a car payment, pay for the fuel for my car. I mean, it's real hard to live out of this
Yeah, I
with
mean,
this pay.
good luck taking your kid to a ball game or buying the kid a mitt or putting clothes on the kid, especially when you're talking about some of the things that we've been talking about. Let me ask you this. You had the big the 40-hour strike, the events from Workers' Memorial Day on. What kind of response did you get from other people in the port? What kind of response did you get from the general public? And what kind of response did you get from your family?
You know what? I was happy that the port, they were supporting us. They went out there. They support our fight and my family too. Even though there was 2 days out of work, they were there. They say, Dad, let's keep on going because we gotta win this. We can't be like this all the time. The way we are right now is pathetic. I mean, you can't do anything with this kind of thing.
Yeah, and not only are you trying to make conditions better for yourself, but you're trying to make conditions better for other workers. And oh, by the way, maybe for your children if they ever decide to do the same kind of job.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We're trying to. I've been a truck driver for 12 years, and now having the union backing us up, and getting together. I mean, I see progress. I see that we're gonna win this. This is it's gonna take a while, yes, but we're there. We're gonna keep on fighting, and we're not gonna go nowhere. We're not gonna go nowhere until we win.
And that's the attitude that I got to be honest. I'm hoping that people are listening and taking this to heart because this is how the middle class was built. This is how my grandparents' generation, when they came back from fighting World War II, took to the streets here in the U.S. and said, we're fighting for decent wages, decent hours, decent conditions, and opportunity for ourselves and for our children and our grandchildren.
Yeah. We're tired of getting everybody at work. They treat us different because we joined the union or we're active as union members. But at work it's two teams, like they say, one's against and one is with the unions. And the ones that they're against the union, they're the ones that are getting the better jobs, more hours, and for us, they're cutting us the hours. They're doing us, work harder for the same kind of money,
Yeah, it's a crime, and it actually is illegal. And the good thing is you've got somebody who's got your back. And the idea is the longer you fight this, you're eventually going to win. As long as you stay together, that's the key. If they're able to divide and conquer and pit us again, because that's how they've won. That's how they've broken the middle class. That's how they've broken the American dream, by pitting us against one another and blaming each of us for, well, you got something I didn't, and they're robbing us blind.
Yeah. And that's why I'm telling you, there's two groups right here in our company, and they get the better stuff because the company is with them. We get harassed, we get pushed by the other people, and companies is allowing this, that
they're encouraging it.
For them to start fights with us, so we could get fired and. We're there. I mean, we just wouldn't say anything. We know that companies is allowing them to do this, and but we're there fighting, and we're gonna stand there no matter what. We can't be like this forever.
Yeah.
We gotta change.
At the end of it, you're on the right side of this, and it's people like you with the courage to stand up and say no more that I give you the ultimate respect. And I think as a nation, we should be respecting folks like you, which is why the wealth class fears you. It's because you're willing to stand up and say no more. Yasser Castillo, I appreciate you taking time for us. I appreciate you sharing your story with us. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Great talking with you. Let's take a quick break. Back with your thoughts. 1-888-520-RICK. 1-888-520-7425. This is The Rick Smith Show. We're working people. Come to talk.
To lobby leaders for involvement. 3,000 people screaming out. Where's our government? Lawsuits and arraignments. Members under company surveillance. Public divided. Either they love us or they hate us. Profit billions off our back. And it's still not enough. They should have took into account that we never give up. We'll be here one